face masks off, bear hugs. So, let's see. How's everybody doing tonight? I thought I'd pop on, play a little song, play a little encouraging music I was thinking about earlier. And somebody says, please do a show about schooling with my kids. I actually recently did one of those. I was on somebody else's podcast talking about this. I forget whose podcast. There's a big summit called it's like the Excellence Summit or something like that. But I did a whole interview on my entire philosophy of schooling and how we do it all. So when that podcast comes out, what I'll probably do is just put it in my weekly roundup. So if you guys are on my weekly roundup, you'll see that one. I did not barbecue tonight. I'm going to show you a quick story about what I did do. And then I'm going to play you a song, and then I'm going to go to bed. So first of all, I did two things. I took a card game that my family and I have been playing for over a year called Quiddler. And I spent yesterday morning making a bunch of extra cards that throw a bunch of new rules into the game. And we shuffled those into the deck. And I had to order a whole new deck, right, of cards that looked the same that I could modify. And it turned the game into an even better game. And so now I'm going to try and find a lawyer, an IP lawyer, who can help me approach the company who owns the game so we can license the new game that I invented to the game designer. And that is how I'm going to retire. That along with all of my all these albums I'm going to record. And then the other thing is that when I was in Japan last time, I tried this stuff called Japanese jelly cubes. And they're made out of, they're called tokoruten, I think they're called. They're made out of seaweed, very similar to agar, but it's called kanten. And so what I did was I ordered a bunch of this kanten pasta. It's chock full of sea minerals, no carbs, and extremely low calories. It's got like 2 calories in 100 grams of the stuff, and it sticks to your ribs. Incredibly satiating and really good for you. And so I got this kanten, and I boiled it down in a pot with water until it melted, stirring the noodles, melting it. And I added some gelatin to it to kind of thicken it as I melted it. And then I seasoned it with some miso and some salt. And then I poured it into a mold, like into a glass mold, and then let it set in the refrigerator and cut it into cubes, which for dessert can be dipped into something like honey or molasses. And for like a savory side dish can be dipped into like a miso or a soy sauce. And for a full-on meal can be sauteed up or served on the side along with like sardines or herring or mackerel or anchovies. So I am definitely putting that recipe in my cookbook, and my cookbook is about done and getting published right now. So stay tuned for that because the cookbook's coming. I finished writing it during quarantine because I had a little bit of time on my hands to write. All right, so it was kanten noodles. I got them from the Miracle Noodles company and just melted them down, and I made myself Japanese jelly cubes, and they're amazing. I had some for dinner, so there you have it. All right, well, and I'll publish the recipe to my weekly roundup too. So there's 2 things for you in the weekly roundup. I'll publish the podcast that I did on schooling, and I'll publish the podcast that I did on how I make my Japanese jelly cubes, or the article I'm going to do on Japanese jelly cubes. So if you just go to bengreenfieldfitness.com and subscribe to the newsletter, you'll instantly get notified when the weekly roundup comes out. So this is a good song. It's an oldie, but a goodie. Oh, soul, are you weary and troubled? No light in the darkness you see. There's a light for a look at the Savior, and life more abundant and free. Turn your eyes upon Jesus. Look full in his wonderful face, and the things of earth will grow strangely dim in the light of his glory and grace. Through death into life everlasting, he passed and we follow him there. Over us sin no more hath dominion, for more than conquerors are we. Turn your eyes upon Jesus, look full in his wonderful face, and the things of earth will grow strangely dim in the light of his glory and grace. Turn your eyes upon Jesus, look full in his wonderful face, and the things of earth will grow strangely dim in the light of his glory and grace. It's my favorite thing. Old-timey country music hymns like Elvis Presley and Alan Jackson and Randy Travis. I think Brad Paisley has a few out there. Johnny Cash, Sweetly and Tenderly, some of his songs. I just dig those old hymns. They're super uplifting and just really positive vibes on those. So let's see. You know what? You guys have lots of questions, but I have lots of bedtime calling. So tell you what, I will reply. Yes, Alan Jackson, Blessed Assurance, great song. Blessed Assurance, Jesus is mine. So I'll reply to 3 questions here. How did you learn to sing, or just natural? I grew up playing the violin and singing in church. That's how I learned to sing. I was playing the violin and singing in church. And then when I was like 16, I decided the violin was stupid. And I got a guitar, kind of played that on and off in high school, and then recently started to play the guitar again. All right, what do I drink first thing in the morning? I go downstairs and I get this wonderful bourbon that I brought back from Kentucky. And what I do with that bourbon, no, I'm just kidding. Because then I'm going to have like 1,000 people who are drinking bourbon for breakfast because Ben said so. I get a big glass mason jar, a big one. We're talking like 30 ounces. And into that glass mason jar, I put a teaspoon, which is about 5 grams of baking soda. I put double that of vitamin C, so about 10 grams of vitamin C. I put a big pinch of either salt or the Quinton hypertonic minerals in there. And then I put 2 hydrogen tablets in. So it's hydrogen water with minerals, vitamin C, and baking soda. And I suck that thing down not right when I get up. Because the very first thing I do is I do tongue scraping and coconut oil pulling to keep my chompers nice and healthy and my oral microbiome healthy. And then once I've done that, I go downstairs and I drink that big mason jar with the vitamin C and the baking soda and the minerals and the hydrogen. All right, let's go with one other question here. Why do I recommend easier workouts in the morning? Well, when you rise, you're going to naturally have a spike in cortisol, even more so if you have a cup of coffee. And furthermore, well, this is kind of complicated, and I detail it in Boundless, but here's like the 30-second overview. You're pretty insulin sensitive in the morning, right? Naturally, you wake up with a high amount of cortisol and a high amount of insulin sensitivity, dictating that all the metabolic benefits you would get from a hard workout are probably going to be best to be had when your body temp peaks, when your reaction time peaks, when your grip strength peaks, when your post-workout protein synthesis peaks, and when you want to induce a second spike in insulin sensitivity. And that dictates that the best time to do a hard workout, Not that working out in the morning is bad, but the best time to do a hard workout is the afternoon to early evening, especially if you're doing a carb refeed at dinner, right? So it's not because working out hard in the morning is necessarily wrong or harmful. It's because if you're gonna work out hard and you have the luxury of time to choose when you're gonna work out hard, you're gonna get way more benefits out of timing it for late afternoon or early evening. And then that would then dictate that the morning is a great time for a walk in the sunshine or a sauna session or some yoga or something kind of easy and restorative, with the side benefit of that being twofold. A, it helps you to manage stress as you go throughout the rest of the day when you've done something kind of deep and restorative and spiritual in the morning. And B, if you do a hard workout in the morning, and this is more psychological, and it won't happen if you learn to identify it and recognize it, but you are more prone to eat more calories and kind of like cheat more and even sit more when you've slapped yourself on the back by doing your hard workout first thing in the morning. So that's more of a psychological thing, but I have noticed that happens with some people. So that's your slightly short / long answer. All right, you guys. Well, I'm going to go to bed, and thanks for popping in. Be sure to go to bengreenfieldfitness.com, subscribe to get the weekly roundup. We'll send you all sorts of other cool things. Have an amazing night. Have a blessed evening. God be with you and give you sweet dreams. Nighty night.